Late in the period. Here's Dino in the slot. Knocked down. Somebody's buried there. McClellan. Puck is still loose, I guess. Bob Murray was knocked down by Broughton and comes up swinging. Gloves are off.
Brown going after Broughton. Broughton landing a couple of rights. On Bob Murray. And we have several other people paired off. You can see in the lower corner of your screen. That's Frana Musil with Gary Nyland.
That ought to be a dandy match. If they ever go.
And McClellan and Secord are glaring at one another.
Well, now from the North Stars' perspective, someone has to take care of Mr. Bob Murray. The Star center iceman shouldn't have to be the one to defend himself. But on the other hand, play scrambled around there, I think, for too long without a whistle, and it led to all of this. Broughton being escorted off, and so is Bob Murray. A couple of really unlikely guys to get involved in the fight.
That's right. Bob Murray is not a fighter himself. Coach Lauren Henning acknowledging that's just part of the game sometimes. You've got to realize, too, folks, that this is one of the most intense rivalries in hockey. The only one other that can compare to it is the Montreal-Quebec rivalry.
Islanders-Rangers go at it pretty good, too.
Dino is floored there. Nyland runs into McClellan. Savard comes after Dino. And Broughton and Murray. Broughton gave Murray a good shot. They each pick up majors for fighting. Time of the penalties at 18:02, so they'll both be disposed from their respective clubs until roughly the 3-minute mark of the next period. Neither team, though, will skate shorthanded.
No instigator here either, Wally, as you see how this fight started, or wound up, I guess.
More of a tugging match. It looks like Brott's got the best of Bob Murray on that. I think the last fight Neil was in was against Gretzky.
Yes, that's right. O'Callahan. McKegney missed the better part of that check. And the lead to Presley at center ice comes through. Presley is stopped by Beaupre, but it's offside. Offside, and now Stapleton gets up after Graham, and Dirk can really let him fly. Punches out of the pileup, and Graham wants Stapleton.
Graham got the best of Stapleton in the early going. Those punches that you saw being thrown by Stapleton weren't connecting. Dirk was hunched over.
North Star fans have not seen Dirk Graham fight very much, but you do not want to fight Dirk Graham. He is tough.
He's quick with the fists, and he landed some rapid-fire jabs right off the bat. Watch what happens, though, to the left of the North Stars goal. Presley is knocked to the ice by Frana Musil. And play is off in the left corner. You see Presley and Stapleton both piling up on Graham. And as more players moved in, it tied up Presley. And this is where it starts, right here. Stapleton and Graham. Graham has to worry about two guys at first. And just starts throwing them. Actually, that was Presley he was fighting, not Stapleton. You see, those punches really aren't doing much. Presley's going to have a sore hand from hitting helmet. And one last roundhouse.
I'm glad for the replay there, because after he lost his jersey, there was a little switcheroo in the pile up there, and it's Dirk Graham ahead to Acton, and he was blindsided. Then retaliates on Manson, and DePalma goes after Manson. Might be a third man in there. Secord comes in. He might be the third man in.
He would have been fourth.
Depends on who counts.
Graham and Presley have dropped their gloves. They're about the only two standing and paired away from everybody else. No punches being thrown in the big pile. But the main event, you saw them just skate through the top of your screen there, is Presley and Graham.
There's Manson.
Acton has Doug Wilson tied up.
takes a punch at Rouse. And there they go. Rouse and Secord.
Secord throwing some lefts, but they all hit Rouse's helmet. Bobby Rouse likes to get in close. We've seen him in fights earlier this year where nothing connects because they always hit a helmet.
Very close to some headbutting going on down there.
Secord does not wear an undershirt when he plays.
Meanwhile, Graham and Presley are still having some ideas about going at it. And Dirk Graham has his right hand free. That ought to be a warning to Mr. Presley. Rouse and Secord are finally separated as you see Graham and Presley continuing to waltz now in the North Star zone. Gregson says, let's break and break clean. Good luck trying to get that to happen.
Meanwhile, De Palma is in his penalty box along with his combatant.
All right, tempers have settled down, and Terry Gregson will sort things out. With 5:15 left in the first period, the score, Minnesota 1, Chicago 0. There's the tete-a-tete in the referee's crease. Here's how it started.
Watch the play right here at the blue line on a heavy collision between Acton and Manson. You say Manson wasted no time jumping right on. Oh, that was De Palma wasting no time. Then Hartsburg comes in right there. He could be called third man. Secord came in grabbing Hartsburg, which is what a player should do in that situation. Obviously, you're outnumbered 2-1. So I doubt that Secord would get it. Hartsburg has to be concerned because he could be ejected from the hockey game.
That was De Palma coming back to protect Keith Acton, and Acton and Manson were the original two who tied up. When Acton took a pass from Graham here and then gets crushed, boom, by Manson. And then there's Acton with a little bit of retaliation there. And pretty soon De Palma, bingo, out of the dark.
I don't think they would call a penalty on Acton or Manson from that original instance.
I don't think so.
Unless they call Manson for an elbow or something. It's hard to see from that angle whether or not there was one thrown or if...
And the Hawks lead 2-1 in a thriller. And now we're going to have a roughing penalty coming up here.
Musil was up along the boards and was checked heavily by Bergevin and Secord. The three of them were just hanging on, and finally Musil and Bergevin started pushing away, but the linemen are in quickly and will separate these two guys, and they'll end up with minor penalties out of it.
You're watching the National Hockey League on the Minnesota North Star Television